guys, it's Rel Klein and you're watching another making up movie idea on the spot. So if this is your first time watching a video, what I do is I pick randomly a genre, place, and 3 other items, and I have to come up with a movie idea. I try to get as detailed as I can be. So far, some of the ideas I've came up were really good. Sometimes some other ideas weren't as good. So it's really about the journey and trying to use what we get as best possible as we could. I don't know if that makes sense. Also, unrelated note, I passed my road test today, so now I can officially drive. I know you're thinking, wow, you're 20 years old and you just got your license. I live in New York City, so driving isn't something that's really big here. But now I can drive. Let's get into it. So here we have the genres. Hopefully something's good. Okay, I have drama. I think I had drama for my first video as well. There were a few genres that I put in a couple more times than others. I think I have 2 or 3 dramas and 2 and 3 comedies in this bag, so those I probably will get more than others. And it doesn't have to be straightforward drama. It could have other elements to it, like there could be some action, it could have some comedy. Well, I feel like every drama should have some comic relief. I love comic relief. Place. Portland. I've never been to Portland before. When I was doing this, I just put in some like random cities in the US. So I don't know much about Portland. As I've said before, sometimes locations has a lot to do with it, sometimes it doesn't. The fact that it's in the city, I will take it the more city way and think of it in that way, but I think if I had it Portland or Seattle, whatever, I don't think it would make that much of a difference. So now we have these 3 other items. You can comment down below other items you want me to add. I have so many in here, but I always love hearing new ones, even though no one has ever commented one yet. Yeah. One, 2, 3. So we have backup. And backup can be a lot of things. So a lot of these items I have in here can mean multiple things, like a backup plan, a backup person, a backup venue, something that requires a backup. Ooh. Well, this is a drama, but there is ghost. Can you see it? Okay. And ooh, we got games. So games could be board games or literal games you play with someone, or some sports Okay, so the driving force for this, I'm gonna say, is ghost, because there's ghosts here, but it's not a sci-fi or a fantasy, it's a drama. So I have to think of this ghost being in a dramatic way that has sci-fi elements in it, but isn't sci-fi forced. I didn't watch the movie, but I recently just watched Anna Kendrick. She did this video about her career, and she was talking about this movie where she played a ghost with Jennifer Aniston. I didn't see the movie, but I think how she described the movie, it seemed like it had comedical elements, but it was drama forced. Ghost. So where I feel like I want to take this is I want this ghost person to be haunting someone, but I feel like that has been done a lot of times where there's this one lead character that can see the ghost that no one else can see the ghost, and I need to make sure that it's different than the others. So I had this idea, but it's funny, it's not a drama. Oh, I had this funny idea with the ghost that I just came up with, but this is a drama. So I see in my head a female lead, and perhaps her boyfriend dies. I want to say car accident, but I feel like in movies someone dies always because of a car accident. If this was a comedy, I could decide something like, oh, he falls and trips in the shower, but I'm gonna go with the car accident because that's something that's very sudden, and I think a lot of people can relate to. It's so funny that I'm thinking car accident the day I passed my road test, but we're going with it. So her boyfriend dies in a car accident, and she goes to the funeral, and she comes back home, and he's there, and she like freaks out. She's like, oh my god, you're dead. And he's saying how he hasn't passed to the other side, he's still a ghost. And she's like, you're messing with me, like, do you have a twin brother, everything? But he's like, I'm a ghost, I'm not here to haunt you, I just obviously have something that's unresolved, and I need your help unresolving it so I can pass over or something. So she doesn't know how to react, but she's like, okay, like, I guess you're not going away, no one else can see you. And she's also wondering, why am I the only one that can see you? But there are other things in her head too, because she was actually planning on breaking up with him before this whole accident, and he didn't know about it, and he still he obviously doesn't know about it at the beginning. I think as an audience we should know about it in some way, like maybe before she gets the phone call that her boyfriend died in an accident, maybe she was talking to a friend about how she's gonna end it with him, and perhaps she might have been seeing other people, nothing really serious, but kind of cheating and other things. So she's like, sure, I'll help you, pass on to the other side. But she was actually planning to meet up with someone or something, and she has to cancel her plans. So she's a smart lady. She's a smart cookie. I'm thinking I could see her maybe studying for a PhD or something cool. So she does have some free time because, it's not a full-time job. She's studying for a PhD. So she helps them out, and they start doing some research. She's like, why do you think you're still here? Do you have anything unresolved? And maybe they take a path down memory lane. He's like, I bullied a kid in elementary school. Maybe somehow I need to apologize. So they track him down, and it turns out that the kid that he bullied now is married, maybe has a kid, and she tells them that he died, and she apologized for them because obviously they can't talk to him, he's a ghost, and she can only see him. And they accept the apology. They accept it. But he's still a ghost. He hasn't passed over. So they go back to the research. They're like, okay, what's next? What else did you not resolve? And they go to his ex-girlfriend that he had in middle school for a couple of months, who, I feel like this is tapping into comedy though. So I hate that. If this idea ever gets made or patent, I feel like you could either go the more dramatic tone or you can go more the comedy tone, or have a combination of both, because that's how it's ending up being. Anyway, goes to his ex-girlfriend that he only had for a couple months in middle school, and she has to go apologize for him because he like broke up for her in middle school for no reason, and it like broke her heart. It was some 7th grade romance, whatever. And so she apologizes to this girl who's now a model or something, and she's like, whatever, I've never thought about him in years. So that's resolved, that's fine. But he's not passed over yet. And this is becoming a little bit too much for her. She's saying that she needs some, the female lead is saying she needs some break from him, like she has her own life too. And she decides, she has a date plan and she goes on a date with this really nice guy, but the ghost guy kind of shows up on the date because he's connected her some way, and he's mad, and it's revealed that she, you know, never really, I feel like I don't have games or backup in there enough, but maybe it's revealed that she never really had feelings for him and that he was just a backup guy for her, that was this good guy always there for her, and maybe potentially one day could be someone she could settle down with, but he was at the time just a backup. She may reveal the real reason they got together is because he asked her out and she originally had other plans to meet someone, but they canceled, so he was her backup plan, and so she never actually really wanted to go out with him in the first place. He was just second choice, and so he's hurt and she's hurt and all this other stuff right now in the moment. And he reveals to her that she's probably the only one who can see him because he's in love with her, and through that power she's able to see him because he loves her so much. Oh my god, this is sad, so maybe it is a drama. And this takes place in Poland. So, but now he doesn't know if he still loves her anymore, and so now he loses the power, or she loses the power to see him because he's not in love with her anymore. But she at times can still feel his presence because he hasn't passed over yet. He's still there. And perhaps now she feels that, and you know when someone dies and you feel different now because they're gone, and everything you used to do together is different now, and your life's different now. Well, when he died, she still had that kind of in a way because he was still there with her, but now that she can't see him anymore, she now is feeling the loss of him, and it's affecting her, and she realizes he wasn't just a backup plan, he was something that fate came in her life to bring him. Am I making sense? Like, fate made the first guy canceled so that she can be with him, and he was never a backup plan. He was supposed to be the one, and she just this whole time did not realize what she had until it was gone, and now it's gone. And she tries everything to make him come back because she feels like he can still see her, so she goes to all his favorite basketball games with the team, and maybe all the different board games, and maybe a lot of different things about games. Maybe he's a very game person because of, like, he's a very caring person perhaps, which he has a lot of elements that people long for in a partner that not a lot of guys do lack. So he loves group settings and being in groups, a lot of things to do with games and sports or even board games. She does everything, but he still doesn't come back. And she goes to the road. I was first thinking her graveyard, but to make this more dramatic, she literally goes to the road where he got the car accident and where I think he should not have suffered will have him die instantly at the car accident. I'm such a bad person. So she goes to the road where he died, and she screams out to him, and she screams to him that she loves him and everything about how she didn't realize how much he meant to her until he was gone, and how even if he was still alive, if she broke up with him, she would have realized it. And so he appears again, shows himself to her, and he tells her that they can now maybe end on good terms, but he really is gone. They didn't just break up, he's dead, and she has to learn to live without him. She's a strong woman, she can do it, and that one day she'll find someone who loves her as much as him and will be happy and will move on, and that he'll always be in her heart and she'll always be in his heart. But it's about moving on, and they, you know, maybe confess more to love each other, and then he passes over to the other side, and her realizing how much she loves him was what was keeping him tied there. And he has finally passed over. And so there's a few different messages about this movie, I guess, that can come from it, because I'm guessing that's the end. Maybe there's a little scene at the end where it's her in the future and she's happy and maybe in a successful family or relationship or just doing well, whatever it can be. But there's some messages from this film about you don't realize what you had until it's gone, but that if you do lose someone, you also have that power in you to keep going. So this did kind of start more comedical and then went more into dramatics, I would say, this idea. So the drama was there. The drama was there. I did kind of like this idea. I do think it's kind of different than every ghost movie I've seen. I haven't seen that many ghost movies, if I'm gonna be honest. But it did go in this way. I feel like, yeah, I didn't use games or backup that much. I think I used backup more than games, I guess, because the whole thing that he was kind of her backup, he wasn't her first choice, that kind of feel to it. But then again, these ideas only could be one cell's part. Like, the ghost could have just been one scene, but I made the ghost my driving force for this. I kind of like this idea, kind of interesting. I could see it be a movie, to be honest, I could. Comment below what you thought. Yeah, some parts of it I went into more specifics than others. I feel like there's a lot of things others you can add to it, because I guess I didn't put that many side characters into it. But I think, I don't know, there's a message to it. There's an understanding you get from it. It's cute, perhaps. I don't know. So just gonna put the rest in the bags. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought below. If you ever watch this video, I get like 10 views. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Love you guys, and bye.